This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, okay, guys. So today we'll discuss about namespaces. So namespace is nothing but a logical separation of your space. Let's assume that we do have like a different applications. Okay, so and I don't want to mess up all the applications. Maybe I don't have enough budget, and like I cannot go with a multiple I mean different master and different worker nodes for each application, and I want to go with the same setup, Kubernetes setup, whatever I do have. Like I do have one master and two worker nodes for dev servers. Okay, and I don't want to create one more master and two more worker nodes for my application. Just a minute. Yeah, in that case, we can go with namespace. So, as I told you, namespace is nothing but logical separation of our Kubernetes cluster. So, let's see how it works. So, can you open my Google Drive notes? Do you have it?
It will not open in my office laptop. It is restricted.
Oh, okay, then just a minute. Let me provide those comments. So, meanwhile, you can run this command Kubernetes space namespaces. Can you run that command? I'm pinging you in a group. So which group you are in, Narendra? 8 a.m., right?
8 a.m.
Yeah, I just pinged you. I pinged you on WhatsApp.
Yes, sir.
Okay, or else just a minute. I'll ping you in
Chat.
here chat. Yes, I pinged you in chat. Yeah. First, so get namespace first of all. So what this command will do means it will show you the default namespaces. So the first one is the actual one. Default is there, right? Can you highlight the first one? Yes. So this one. This is our default namespace. Whenever you create a cluster, okay, by default you will have one official namespace that is called as default. Again, you can see those cube node, cube public, cube system. Right? That is for a cluster purpose, not for our purpose. Okay, only the default is to create our deployment. So whatever the deployments you create, whatever the parts you are creating, everything will be available under defaults names. It's kind of maybe in a simple way to make it understand. I can say kind of let's assume that I do have movies folder. Okay, so instead of placing all movies in a single folder, what I can do, I can make it again subfolders like Telugu movies, Hindi movies, English movies, something like that. So why I am doing it? Just logically I'm separating, right? By creating the subfolders so that later on I can easily search. Maybe I can easily find out, right? When I want to see watch Hindi movies, easily I can go to Hindi movies. I can search for Hindi movies instead of searching in all. Maybe instead of confused, maybe if you have everything in a single deployment, you might be confused also. Sometimes what will happen? The server names will be like a kind of a same similar names. Maybe app one, app two, something like that. So it will be confused for you as well, for everybody as well. So in that case, what we can do, like we can create logical namespaces. Namespace is nothing but logical space. Okay, so if you are even sometimes dev QA production, all you can make it in a single cluster. Dev in one namespace, QA in one namespace, production in one namespace. If you are in dev namespace, you can see only dev servers. If you are in QA namespace, you can see only QA namespace. If you are in production, you can see only production deployments like that. Okay, yeah, go ahead with next comment.
Amar, what exactly namespace does?
Yes, yes. See, maybe once you create, you can understand.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so in simple ways, it's for our purpose. Maybe if everything, let's assume that I do have maybe you are from one team, okay, Dharmanshu, and I am from one more team. You have also one deployment, I have also one deployment, again Narendra also one more deployment. All three are from different applications. We don't have any dependencies. Okay, and actually we don't have enough budget to make it with like again different clusters to make one master and two worker nodes for each of us.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I do have around five applications like for myself. So I need five deployment. You need five deployment, and Narendra also need five deployment. Okay, so I don't want to put all these 15 deployments in a single namespace.
Okay.
So what I will do, I'll create one namespace for me, and I'll create my deployments here in the same cluster. And
Okay.
I'll create deployment for so namespace for you. I'll create five deployments of you in that namespace, and I'll create namespace for Narendra, and I will create five deployments for Narendra in that namespace. So when I am in my namespace, I can see only my deployments, not
Okay.
yours and Narendra's. So logically, just kind of a subfolder, I can say. That's what. Like if I have movies, I have movies folder. Instead
Hmm.
of placing I'm in the same directory. I am placing all my movies in the same directory, but creating subfolders. Why I will create subfolders generally?
To make it easy.
Yeah, same
Right.
concept,
Okay.
namespace also.
Got it now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, Narendra. Not that command. You have something else, right? So,
No, no, he's missing
yes,
some command. That Ubuntu IP. What's that?
just a minute. That one a prompt. Don't run that. Okay. So
Okay.
first command is done.
Okay.
Then after, yeah. So this command is correct. Narendra, this command is correct only. Whatever you, no, no, not that command. Whatever you just triggered, right? That command I'm saying. Get create namespace. kubectl create namespace. I mean ns dev. So guys, I'm creating a dev name. It can be any name your wish. It
Okay.
can be like based on application, based on environment. Now, can you see kubectl get namespace? What cube names? So get namespace will do. See, I have dev namespace also now. So how
Yeah.
can I switch from one namespace to another namespace? So here you have one command, right? kubectl config set hyphen context. Run that command. Not that one. One more. kubectl config set hyphen context. One command is there, right? Uh, Set hyphen context. And change your so the context. You can get already you got the context from the above output. When you run that kubectl config current context, you got one context, right? Copy that context and replace with Kubernetes hyphen. In the above output, for first command, you ran one command, right? kubectl config current hyphen context. Yes, that output. Now replace this with Kubernetes hyphen. Remove that Kubernetes. Don't highlight. Narendra, what will happen? Na?
Right.
If you highlight something, it will be
Right.
copied. Now you copied that one and this one as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so replace it. Give space. The type on context. So then after follow the next one. So hyphen namespace. Then to which namespace you want to switch? Space. Give dot in space. Your name. No, no, not like that. Just dev. Your namespace name.
Okay.
Correct. Correct only. I'm sorry. Yeah, correct only. Hyphen namespace. Then dev. Enter. Can you maximize it so that it will be clear?
Okay.
As you haven't maximized, we are confused. Yeah, this is good. Even you can maximize more also. Full screen also. Okay. Now, how can I check that which namespace I am in? So the last command you have, right? kubectl config view. That command you can run. Yes. So this command will show you which namespace you are in. What is my namespace now? Dev namespace. Again, if you want to switch to default, you can change the above command with default. So it will you will be switched to now. Can you run that get deployments command? Nothing will be there. Actually, you have deployments, right? Two deployment, one deployment. One or two?
One.
One. We have one actually.
Yeah. So see, now run your command. See, nothing.
Nothing.
Because now one more folder you are in, one more subfolder, kind of, not exactly folder. Okay, just for your understanding purpose, I'm saying you are in one more subfolder now.
Okay.
Okay, the same cluster only. So logically separated your spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are in dev namespace. You can create a Can you create a deployment? But be careful. You have to. You should have concern about your resources because like how much space you have.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, now you created your worker nodes with hardly micro, right? Generally,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying in real time, if you want to use different you should have enough RAM and memory also. It's not like just creating, right? Again, you should have concern about your resources also. How much resource you are using, you have currently.
Okay.
Create deployment name, any name. Deployment name kind of don't give dev because you might be confused. Just
Test.
give some maybe test one. What was the deployment name in your default? You created one deploy. I think there also you created test only. Just for awareness, creates with some other name. There is no condition, but if you have the same names again, you might be confused,
Oh yeah.
right? So give some other name, something maybe your name.
Production. Just type something.
No,
Yeah.
again you are in dev. If you give production, you might be confused.
You're right.
Yeah, yeah. So space hyphen image equals to hmm, nginx ngin. So let's give this command. I want to show one more thing also. Wait. Instead of directly giving correct only, don't change it. Hyphen image equals to. I'll give you one version also. Yeah, 1.7.9. 1.7 nginx colon 1.7.9. So why I'm giving, I will tell you guys. So there is a image called nginx 1.7 with version I'm giving now. Okay, because I want to show something else also. How to upgrade your image. Okay, so without downtime. That is one more advantage in Kubernetes, guys. So it is called as rolling update. Yeah, enter. Now can you check kubectl get deployments? As usual now. Again, you can work as usual. Again, get parts, create service and all, whatever you need. Okay, so logically you created namespace, a separate space for your servers, for Narendra server, for dev servers. In the same way, I can create one more namespace, QA, one more namespace, production. There I can place my QA servers. So again in production namespace, I can place my production servers. So just for my convenience purpose, that's it. Nothing yet. Nothing different. Okay. So guys, did you understand what is namespace now?
Yeah.
Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Now can you so without change also I can check default namespaces. What are the deployments I do have? Can you run just up arrow?
Yeah, Amar, I have a question, Amar.
Yes.
So, for example, we have two resources. One resource will have dev access, and other will have some UAT.
Hmm.
So here there is no login password or nothing. I mean, nothing is there. How we? I mean, or what? I mean, how we secure other person to not to join to this namespace?
It's not kind of a security. It's kind of a uh, this just separating the resources. That's it.
Oh, okay,
Because
okay.
anyway you have access to this cluster, but because of maybe having not enough funds because of maybe like generally if you don't have enough maybe resource in the sense enough funds for your project. I don't want to create one more master and worker nodes on the same. It's so you are from the same team, I mean same project only, but I want to separate my servers because like I do lots of stuff in my deployment. I used to change lots of things in my deployment. By mistakenly if I do like something in your deployments, it would be problem for you, right? So that's the reason like I'm separating them, that's it.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
So
that is
even
the reason.
in real
Hmm.
time, even my production server also will be there in the same server where UAT and
It yes, it depends. It depends. If you have enough project funds for your project, you will take one more setup. So
oh,
generally we don't have our dev QA production servers in the same clusters. For dev you will create one cluster, and for QA you will create one more cluster for in different setup again, complete different setup again, one master, two worker nodes, two or four, whatever the how many worker nodes you need. You'll set up separately, not in a same single setup.
okay.
Okay.
So if
Only like
as a
whenever
folder,
you don't have project, maybe enough fund, that time we'll go with it. Even if you have enough for funds also, let's assume that. So all these are dev servers only. Assume that. Okay. So like we have a huge team, different teams in my project. And for dev servers itself, I do have like again different applications. In that case also I can create namespaces, not only for environments. Got it?
okay. Yeah. So environment and volume, whatever the I mean extra volume we give, any namespace can access any folder in this
Yes,
server.
yes,
Okay.
it can be possible.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Get
Yes,
confused.
If we want to see the old deployment, how can we?
yes. So you can do it in two ways. One is either completely switch your namespace to default, and you can run as usual, or else right away you are in dev namespace, right? So from here also you can check without switch also. So how to do it means same gets name deployment space hyphen hyphen namespace equals to default. I'm not switching, just I want to see default namespace deployments.
Okay.
Hyphen hyphen namespace equals to same command only. I want to see the deployments. Get deployments space hyphen hyphen namespace equals to default. So I haven't changed, guys. I mean, still in dev default only, dev namespace only. But I want to see default namespace. See, actually in dev namespace, I do have Naren deployment, not test. But I can see the default namespace details also. Got it? See, in
Yes.
the same way, you can see pods also. See the pods, get pod. If you just do kubectl get deployments, what happening? It is showing the current namespace details. Guys, if you do kubectl get pods, what it will show? It will show current namespace details, right? Current namespace pod details. But now you are able to
Yes.
see both are different, remaining as usual.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is what namespace, guys. Nothing much. Now I want to show one more thing, that is upgrade. How to upgrade your image. Now let's see that. Uh, just a minute. What is your current image version?
1.7.
1.7.9. Can you run get deployments -o wide command? Get deployments space -o wide -o space -o sorry wide. Enter. So here I can see that what is the current version, what is the image I'm using. Okay, so it's 1.7.9. Now let's assume that I got a new image now. So maybe at some point of time, definitely new versions will come in, right?
Yes.
Right. So maybe the one more version also there, that is 1.9. I want to update it without downtime. So have you seen any time google.com is down for the like upgrades?
No.
No.
Since when Google is running? Google is available. How many days? How many years? Almost 10-15 years, right?
Yep.
Have you seen any time Google is down for upgrade? No, right?
No.
That means are they not doing any upgrades for their applications? They are doing, right? They are doing, but they are using some high availability techniques. Without down, they are upgrading their services. Yes or no? So with Kubernetes, it is possible. Again, there are lots of other techniques. So this is one of the technique I am saying. Without downtime. So let's assume that that Nginx application is running. Now I want to upgrade it. But if I upgrade it, so definitely there will be downtime in general, and the application cannot be accessed by the customer. There would be some, you can see when you open some applications like net banking. So they will say, so we are going to upgrade our application so and so time. So that time your application may not work properly or experience some problem with so and so service, something. Have you seen any time like that?
Yes.
So maybe some applications definitely need downtime. It depends. Depends on the structure of your application, how exactly it's work. Okay. But in Kubernetes, it is possible. So this is one of the technique for high availability. Now let's see how to upgrade it. Again, I'll give you some commands to upgrade your application now. So go ahead, run this command. kubectl space set space image set space image space deployment space your deployment name, space your image name nginx equals to nginx equals to your new image name nginx colon 1.9.1 space that's it, enter. Okay, so immediately check this command kubectl rollout status deployment kubectl rollout status deployment deployment name. Actually, you have to run this command immediately because by this time it might be completed already. Successfully rolled out. What will happen when you run this command? So how many parts you have right away? Can you run kubectl get deployments once? Kubectl get deployments. Oh, only one now. If one is there, definitely downtime will be there. So we'll create first. We'll scale our applications, maybe at least 2 or 3 replicas. Then after, if you do upgrade, it won't down your application. Yeah, kubectl scale deployment name hyphen replicas equals to 3. So I want to create 3 applications for the same deployment, 3 replicas. Yeah, enter. Okay, scaled. Now check the get deployments. So wait, it's coming up. Up arrow again. Should be 3. Get pods. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay. Already updated, right? Just a minute. We can roll out also. I will show you while rolling out. Okay, roll back. Let's assume that whatever the upgraded version, it's not working properly. I want to roll back. Okay, you can roll back also. Exactly this roll out and roll back, how this works. Wait. How this works here means, let's assume how many replicas you have? 3 replicas. So what it will do means, first it will down, sorry, it won't down immediately. Whenever I did that upgrade command,
Hmm.
that set image command, what will happen mean, first it will launch one new pod with that with that latest version. Once that pod is ready, it will down one pod, one old pod. Okay. Again, it will launch one more new pod with the new version. It will down one more pod, the old pod. Again, it will launch one more pod, new version, and it will down the old pod. This is how that is the reason it is called as rolling update,
Oh,
one by one, not all at a time. Even while downgrading also, I don't want to go with new version because of some, like my application is not working. I want to roll back again. In the that time also it will do the same stuff. What it will do? First it will create a new pod with old version, then old pod deleted, terminated. Again one more new pod, one more delete old pod, something like this. Rolling update. That is the reason it is called as rolling update, one by one. Okay. Now let's see
hmm.
how to roll back.
Can we see here? Let's see if we do roll out here. Can we see it's down or we
Yes,
can?
yes, it is for you have
Oh,
to run immediately the get parts
okay,
so
yeah.
that we can see that.
Then and only we can see that.
Yes. So run this kubectl rollout, undo, immediately run the get parts after this command. Okay, so undo space, deployments, and your deployment name. Immediately run that get part command after this command. See?
Oh yeah, it's terminating. Yeah.
Yes. So one more is creating. Run it one more time immediately. By this time already completed. See, you got
Yeah.
all new parts.
Yes.
Now check the version. Now check the version in scroll up, scroll up. Not here in deployments. Deployment -o wide. It will show you the version of get deployments -o wide. See, currently, let's upgrade one more time. The same command. You have set image command, right? Right now it's 1.7.9. I want to upgrade it to 1.91. Yeah, enter. Run the pod command immediately after this.
Yes. Yes.
Run
Yeah.
it. See, same way. Rolling update, rolling downgrade. That rolling downgrade means rolling back.
Yeah.
See, this is how you can upgrade, you can downgrade if at all required. Okay, this is upgrade command, rolling update command. All these commands already available in our notes, guys. Don't worry. In Google Drive, I have I have Google Drive, right? Running notes. There you have all these notes.
Where is that?
Okay.
Because I'm searching right now. I can't see that. It's in Kubernetes.
Yes.
Okay. Hmm.
Amar, I have a question.
Yes.
This image is there, right? Nginx 1.7 point. So this one is the same as Docker images, or else,
Yes.
for Kubernetes there is separate.
Docker images only.
Okay, okay. We
Same.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay.
From Docker Hub only. Docker Hub our own own registry. Same Docker image. Already you have to create them. That image is only you are using here.
Okay.
Amar,
So
from April 16, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, Vishwa.
From April 16, we are not receiving your recordings actually. I missed a couple of classes and it is hard to follow. So I want to listen to those recordings.
Yeah, actually I'm uploading them into YouTube. Because why what is happening now? So like most of you guys not downloading the recordings. Again after 1 week I'm getting requests. Like please send me the recording. So but by the time those are disabling automatically. Again I have to go back and enabling. That's the reason I'm uploading to YouTube. So anytime you can check it. Do you have my
Uh,
YouTube channel?
yeah, I have. But
Yeah.
are you uploading my old recordings also? Because it during that time I shared my office stuff also. It might be a problem if something my office stuff is displayed in YouTube.
No, old one no. These are new stuff.
Okay, okay. Because
So
I was
not your
sharing my
videos.
group
Only
issues
one
and those.
videos. The latest videos only I'm sharing.
Okay.
Okay, so not yours. Yeah, you can check that if you have any doubt. Maybe wherever you have your videos, right? You can compare with them if at all.
Yeah,
If you found any issues, then please reach me out. Definitely, I'll delete them.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys, this is what your deployments, sorry, your namespaces and how to upgrade your stuff. Now, let's see how to create the same deployments via files. Okay, so like why I have to do it instead of command line means just for reusable purpose. Okay, I want to like a later point of time I want to know what exactly I used and all, and I want to recreate them. So at any point of time, for such purpose, I can create these deployments and maybe services, pods, everything via deployment files also. Okay, how to do it? Simple. Uh, Choose any directory your wish. Where are you exactly? Can you do pwd? Okay. So it's up to you. You can go with root or you can create one more directory. Create something slash app something. Okay, your wish. And your wish, sure. Anything is fine. Choose one directory and there you have to create a deployment.yml file. Now CD Narendra. Uh, so file name can be anything, but extension should be YAML or YML because these are YML files. Narendra. Okay, naren.yml, enter. I'll give you some code. Oh, you don't have that. So Google Drive won't work out, right? Just a minute. Dharmanshu, can you ping? Okay, I'll ping. No problem. Just a minute. Yeah, you're asking something, right, Dharmanshu? You said you were not able to find it out,
Yeah, actually, I
but
am
it's
in a
there
Google Drive right now.
in
Kubernetes and
DevOps class nodes.
yeah,
So Kubernetes directory is there, right?
yes, yeah,
That is
in there.
where I'm also there only. So
It's in the
let
first, second, or third. That
just a minute.
okay.
I'll tell you. Kubernetes 520. That is the document.
Okay, yeah.
There only. Search with the namespace.
Okay,
Search with that command, whatever the command we used.
okay.
I just pinged you in chat.
Yeah, I got it, Amar. It's there.
Copy paste everything. You have many lines, right? Again, instead of doing one by one.
Amar,
Ah, yes, madam. Tell me.
I have one more question. Like, see, in Docker, we used to take current container image and something before any upgrade or before if you want to make use of it or something for some purpose. So
Mm-hmm.
here we will take that backup or something because you just did an upgrade. There is no need. I mean, rollback option is also there. I can understand, but still, if you want to keep a copy of old one, whatever it is, how I mean,
Again, yeah. Again, we are creating our images with Docker. Sorry, we are creating deployments with Docker images only, right? You can take a backup of that image, right? Again, in about data and all, the application data, you will save it in volumes, again in Kubernetes volumes. So obviously you will have the like data even if you upgrade your application also. Okay, you won't lose any application data because we'll save that data in separate volumes, not in containers. Here maybe you may think that we'll do the changes to our application configuration in Kubernetes. No, we don't do any application changes here. Everything we'll do in Docker image only. After you get perfect image, then only you will upgrade this. Okay, the application settings and all, anytime we don't do with Kubernetes.
so you
Only
don't.
the once application everything set up in that contain that image, that image only will take care.
Okay,
Tell me.
that means like you don't need to, you don't even go to containers or about work. I mean, worker nodes in Kubernetes. You mean to say?
We'll go it so it's possible, but we don't do any application related changes. I mean the setting related. You
Oh,
will
okay.
get the application data that is different. Settings are different, right? The configuration is different. I'm not. I'm talking about as configuration. Configurations, everything and all. You already did it in your Docker image. That image only I'm using here. Once you create a deployment container with Kubernetes, there is no like maybe way. So you can change it, but we don't do it any changes related to the settings.
Okay.
So
So
whatever the application data and all you want to save, so definitely you will save it in a separate volume,
yeah,
Kubernetes volume. So
but
obviously I will get my data. So I don't lose any data even if you upgrade also. Because again, while creating a while updating my pods and all, whatever the previous data I do have. Again, those volumes also will be attached to this new part. So I'll have the same data. I won't lose any data. Yes, tell me now.
Okay. For example, in my application, I set the debug level as normal, and I want to do.
Mm,
Now I want to make
mm,
the check configuration. For example, I'm just saying, giving an example. So
mhm.
in that case, how can we do that? Like we have to go to the Docker image again, modify the changes and create an image, and then import into the Kubernetes.
Yes. Anyway, you don't have downtime here, right? Yes,
Okay.
the best practice is in that way only. Always do it in your Docker image, not in Kubernetes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
got.
so that you will have your changes available at any cost, right? If you want to do any changes in your application and all, definitely. So you will test it, then only you will use that image in Kubernetes. First, you will create a container with whatever the settings used in Docker host generally. Once everything is ready, then that image only you will pick in Kubernetes. Okay?
Okay. So
Yeah.
for Kubernetes, Docker should be there. But whereas there is another tool similar to the Docker. For that also Kubernetes will work.
What is the similar tool you mean?
I don't know. I just thought like there are multiple tools who performs the same
No,
functionality.
for Docker there is no alternative, but for Kubernetes we have alternative. Docker Swarm.
Okay. Okay. For Docker,
Hmm.
there was no alternative. Okay.
No, but there is a tool called Vagrant that is similar but not exactly Docker.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
Vagrant is there for that. You can easily create. It's kind of a VM again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So not like this, Narendra. So it should be in order. There should be exact spaces and all whatever you can see in
Yeah, I
deployment
tried.
file.
It's not
The
happening.
same, or else, like maybe anybody else ready with your setup, guys? Because again, typing it may take time, right? Maybe if you are able to do it, that's fine, Narendra. I don't know how you will do it. Try one by one. So in YAML file, these spaces and all very important.
Yeah, right.
You should exactly follow the spaces. Indentation is very important. Even single
How
space
do those
also.
spaces matters here?
So in YAML file, so have you gone through our Ansible class? In Ansible
No.
class, we have seen, right? Even single space extra or less also, it will throw an error, syntax error. You will come to know here. It will clearly shows you, maybe here. Let's assume that there is an order. You have to follow that order. Let's assume that this metadata, or maybe not metadata, under metadata name is there, right? So here, what is metadata means? I want to give details about that above component. So I'm naming it. If at all that name, if I miss the space and if I start from beginning, it will take it as separate component. It won't take it as under metadata. So that name so should be under metadata only, inside metadata. Now if it is equals to metadata, then it will treat as a new component, something again kind of metadata related. One argument it will take it as, it won't take it as
How
under metadata.
then how can we keep
You will
that?
come,
How can we
you
keep
will
that
come to know that.
YAML file consistent with spaces and
Ye-
exact syntax
You will
file.
come to know that if you run it, it will throw an error wherever you have some problem. Na, it will throw unable to find out so and so component, something like that. So you have to go through line by line, something like that. Where exactly you have issue, it will show you. Don't worry. But here you have to understand what exactly you are writing, which component is for which purpose.
Labels. It's labels.
Hello, Narendra.
Yes.
So, guys, actually, I have to leave now. Anyway, so for explanation and all, it's not possible now. Okay, so I just provided one more file also, that is service.yml. Name can be anything, but again, one more file for service. Can you
Okay.
just keep ready with your these files by tomorrow, so that
Yeah, sure.
even the syntax also exactly should be whatever I given. If you don't, maybe if you are confused with this, then follow my Google Drive. Their exact like indentation is followed. Please make it as it is,
Yeah,
so
sure.
that tomorrow I'll explain this stuff.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. Okay then, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll meet again tomorrow, same time.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.